Hey guys, it's Neil again from Harder Texas Armory, and today I wanted to do a video overview of this new revolver that came into my shop today. And it's an LCRx, with the X meaning external hammer. So the LCR has been out for a while now, and it's a great concealed carry revolver for anybody interested, but a lot of people were requesting to Ruger that they wanted an external hammer version. So it took a couple years, but recently here Ruger finally came out with it, and it's this model here. So I kind of like it, man. I mean, I do like having, a small hammer or internal hammer, to prevent it from snagging on clothing. But there's something about a revolver that has an external hammer that way you can, either run in double action or you can put it in single action if you wanted. It's just something about having the hammer. So I think it's really cool that Ruger listened to their customers and came out with this new model. So let's go over the specs first with this handgun, with this revolver. So you have a capacity of 5 rounds, and this is the 38 special version here. You're looking at a length of 6.5 inches. You're looking at a height of 4.5, a width of 1.25, so 1.25 inches on the width, and a weight of only 13.6 ounces, so very lightweight. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why that is here in a minute. Your barrel length is 1.87 inches on this model. They also have a longer barrel version if you're interested. But this is the compact version here with the 1.87 inch barrel. So we'll talk about one of the coolest things about this is the construction of it. So the way Ruger got this so lightweight and have it look so modern looking is they used quite a few new modern manufacturing techniques to produce this revolver. So you have a frame here that houses all your trigger components made from polymer. So all this is polymer from here down. It's all polymer, which is cool. Polymer is very strong. I mean, it's proved itself over the years with semi-automatics, and I think it's just about time that polymers started being used in revolvers. Now, I would never want polymer on one of my high-end, say like a Colt or something like that, but in a concealed carry piece, it makes sense to me because it saves you weight, you get plenty of strength, and it just makes sense, just like it does with semi-automatics. So you have the polymer frame, the lower frame. You have an upper frame of aluminum, and it's been anodized black, you can see. And you have a stainless steel barrel that's inside that aluminum frame. It's threaded into it. And then you also have a stainless steel cylinder here that's been heavily fluted. Look at that fluting, really cool looking. And of course, we're unloaded here, guys. But they really did a cool, makes it look really neat. And also saves weight with that aggressive fluting. So the cylinder is also stainless steel. Now, another cool thing about this Ruger, if you've played around with the LCR, the trigger on them is pretty good for a revolver, particularly out of the box. It just feels like a smooth, broken-in trigger. And this one's no different, although it is pretty heavy. You're looking at about 11 pounds according to my scale with this particular one. Now, that does sound heavy, and it is heavy, but it's smooth. That cam action that Ruger came up with this revolver really takes that 11 pound and it makes it feel a little lighter than it really is. So keep that in mind. Now, you can stage this pretty good too. So that's one good thing. It kind of clicks into place. There's a stage there, and you can actually stage it even farther back there if you wanted to kind of stage your shots and then have that final little pull right there. And it's going to be considerably less. Or you can do it in single action. So you can cock the hammer back, and now you've got a nice crisp trigger of probably between 5.5 pounds and 6 pounds is what I'm getting on mine. So still a little heavy for a single action revolver or a revolver in single action mode, but it's not bad. I mean, this is a defensive weapon, and you kind of want a heavier trigger. That way you don't want a hair trigger on a revolver, that's for sure. But I really like having that ability to cock the hammer. I mean, like I said earlier, there's just something about that with the revolver. It's just satisfying. You can see how the cylinder swings out on the crane here. The button on all Rugers, you push in, that releases it, and you can swing out the cylinder. Stainless steel crane here, well done. It rotates very smoothly. This stainless steel, it looks like some type of nitride or iron bond black finish on there. You can service the crane by removing that torque screw. That's a torque screw right there in the front of the frame. I mean, it's really great little revolver. Look at the sights, just excellent sight picture with that white paint up front on the front sight. Very easy to pick up, low profile. It's not going to snag on anything. It's well thought out. The hammer is also, slightly smaller than your standard hammers that you would see on a revolver. And again, that's to minimize the chance of snagging on, drawing the weapon out of a holster or something like that. You don't want it to snag on clothing if possible. You could also, bob that down a little bit if you wanted, just by cutting it and filing it down. But I kind of like it how it is. It feels really good. The only negative I have about this is listen to this. And that's typical of most Rugers. They have a transfer bar. I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a little bar in here that when the hammer is forward, the bar is in the downward position, and you'll never be able to hit the hammer will never impact the firing pin. The only way to get that to work is if that transfer bar moves up, which the only way for that to happen is if you actuate the trigger mechanisms here. When you pull back here or pull the trigger, that trigger bar moves up, and then when you fire it with the trigger held back, the transfer bar will stay in the up position, the hammer will fly home, it will impact that transfer bar, then the transfer bar hits the firing pin. It's just a little safety mechanism that Ruger came up with, but you do get that kind of Ruger rattle is what it's called. Not the end of the world. It's not that loud. You're not going to hear it when you're carrying it. It's just if you shake it like that. That's really my only negative with this weapon. I love everything else about it. I mean, it's very comfortable to hand. That Hogue Tamer grip is just incredible. Look at how soft and that is there on the back here. They really did well. This Hogue grip is excellent. Soaks up a lot of recoil because these little revolvers can get pretty snappy. So it's nice having this grip for it. You can remove that pretty easily again, removing that screw from the bottom. But overall, man, I really like this little revolver. I was really excited when Ruger came out with this LCRx version. Like I keep mentioning here, there's just something about a revolver that has an external hammer. I mean, I really like shooting it in single action. It's really nice. But if you're in the market for one of these, contact me, Neil at Heart of Texas Armory. I'll let you know what kind of price I can get you on this. It'll be a good price, I promise you that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all guys take care.